No, it's I think it'll be a while. They got me like so Charles was like
All right.
pretty close.
Well, welcome to the City of Troy City Council Work Meeting, Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Public comments on matters on the agenda. Like to get rid of that part first. Last one was pretty long. So, everybody good with that?
Do we have a copy of the agenda or no?
No, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Thank
So I have no idea.
Okay.
So one of them. Yeah, the one.
Yeah,
you. There, Greek cafe, Betty.
yeah, I did print mine up. So yeah, we'll move on to parking along Highway 2 near Iron Creek Cafe and Cantina. And this one was to stop the parking along the Iron Creek and Highway 2. In August 5th of 2010, Chief Robert McLeod actually petitioned to have this done. It was already started. The gentleman stated that as long as we make it a ticketable ordinance, we can do that. I had Travis come in to kind of talk about what we got going on down there because this is a problem from when it was Odie's Cafe and now it's another cafe and we're having a problem again.
So I mean, basically, what everybody else is seeing is that the parking along the highway on both sides is causing visibility issues. We had one accident down there, BJ, you saw that. And yeah, I was looking at that, and we were talking last week about how far they can park from the intersection. And I looked that up; it's like 20 feet. It's not 6 and
That's crosswalk.
That's an intersection too.
Well, I read that thing like in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It says you can't park within 30 feet of an intersection approaching a stop sign. 343, or 344, something like
Yeah,
that.
I went to I thought it was 20, but
And then it was 20 feet.
it wasn't 60.
No, it was 20 feet if it's a crosswalk. If it's and I think we gotta have a designated crosswalk, like what's at the school, because we've asked for the crosswalk at the farmer's market at our place. Then the state said they wouldn't do it because it's coming over the hill and you got the speed change there. So, yeah, because I read that and I'm like, oh, it's 20 feet, and then it's like within with a crosswalk. So
Yeah,
I so was the 30 on crosswalk.
well, it's not. That's
Oh,
not.
no, I don't know.
That's not it. Oh, no, I'm having with this jet.
It's not it's they cover fire hall entrance, that whether it's signed or not signed, posted crosswalk, fire hydrant, approach to a stop sign, and some other things. But there's an obscure one I did find that, like I said, that we need to get something.
yeah, within 20 feet of a crosswalk at an intersection.
Yeah.
30 feet, with the stop sign and yeah. So it wasn't the 60, but yeah.
So coming down the hill, they couldn't park within 30 feet of the stop sign.
On the Iron Creek side.
On the Iron Creek coming out of that, which, but coming this way, right now they can park all the way up to the intersection.
And that's what Jesse was saying is to make it a ticketable offense, we can have that turn into a no parking. Talk with council. I think we should go through town and do this all at once, figure out spots that are problematic, and then we can all decide which ones are the problematic ones and do it all at once, get it all done in one ordinance.
Yeah.
So if you know of some problematic intersections, let's look at getting it taken care of.
Yeah, the only one that I've had anybody say anything to me about, and I'm sure there's more we can look at, but the house right next to the post office where the stop sign is, they park all the vehicles in front of it. I've had people say they couldn't see the stop sign because of the parked in front of it.
Okay, that's city limits.
Yeah.
We're talking highway
Highway.
department. That's what this is about. Is the highway department? That's city. We can definitely change that on our end.
Okay.
But
Yeah, we can.
This is about the highway, and
Through
that's,
town, okay.
and that's because the highway department is the one that manages that.
So I don't know if the state did this coincidental, but all the intersections are painted yellow. Right, for two curb sections back,
Them are the ones that are a ticketable offense for parking in the no
the
parking.
yellow ones
That's
are.
what the state put up, painted them themselves. Down there's no paint on. That's why we're discussing.
So once there's yellow paint on it, then it's a tickable offense.
As long as the state, we make an ordinance and then the state will, and the state stated that they give us the paint. Or they do the painting and they do the signs, but since they know our department, word and everything, they will bring the paint to you and you can paint it.
So you're saying the intersections that are already painted are already ticketable?
Yeah.
From what I understand from this, Jess, that everything that's already painted on the highway that goes through town is state right. Everything that's painted on them corners already is a ticketable offense. It's no parking in yellow. They wouldn't put the yellow, he told me they wouldn't put the yellow paint up for the corners unless it was a no parking. And that's, so,
Well, I wonder if they just missed that intersection then,
no.
because
No, that's what this is. This is what he said. The last person that brought it was August 5th, 2010, Robert McLeod. And site study for US 2 and Odie's Cafe in Troy.
Yeah, I read
And
that.
this is the only thing.
I think that's the only intersection.
Cause everybody else on it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah,
Part of them have got.
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, that's where he's saying that we make an ordinance ticketable, then the state takes it and does it. And we can have our guys paint it.
There used to be, well, go ahead, you're talking. Oh, no, I was just gonna say, like, that, we talked, like, right before you turn the Iron Creek, if you're coming from town,
Yeah,
that used to be yellow there.
well, then it's ticketable offense.
Well, if the rest
It's
of town
not- I
is
can't find
yellow, why do they have to do
And
the
that's what he's saying. That's why we're doing this.
So did I hear you wrong that every intersection that's painted yellow right now is ticketable?
As far as I know, from what I took from Jesse,
Yeah.
is that any intersection on the highway
Yeah.
itself, that's state right away, that's painted yellow, is a no parking zone.
So
This
that a
is not
ticketable
painted
offense?
yellow, is not it's not.
If you park and it's on yellow,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then how
So
come-
that's everything else that's marked in yellow is ticketable. And this one out there doesn't, and I don't think across the street is either there at Odie's, I don't remember.
No,
seeing
not
yellow
on
there.
the place side.
Private wouldn't be.
I wouldn't say that.
So I guess we need to determine if it's a faded yellow.
No, I just talked to this guy and he definitely says that is not a ticketable place. It's not a no parking zone at all. We gotta do this, like, it was started in 2010. We don't have to do the whole process again to do it. We just gotta make the ordinance. You wanna talk to him?
Well, I guess, go ahead, Dan.
Well, I'm going back to that ordinance that you talked about. You said that if you're on Iron Creek, you can't walk within 20 feet. I disagree. I read it in my mind, common sense wise, you're not lost behind common sense.
Good luck with that one.
But you want visibility from the stop sign. Either way.
I agree with you totally the way it says it, but the only thing it says for an intersection in the MCA is 20 feet, no parking within 20 feet of an intersection that has a crosswalk.
Yeah, but you said also a stop sign.
On the approach to the stop
But
sign.
that doesn't make no sense.
Does that have?
I read that 3 times and it says on the approach to the stop sign, no parking within 30, on the approach
That
to,
would be coming down there.
that means coming down Iron Creek in my mind, but.
Well, to me, it's the other.
There's no reason
You're
for
gonna-
that.
There's no parking.
Yeah, I don't wanna get, I mean, I gotta know out to see.
So
I'm
how,
just.
No, but I mean, to me, that's.
so how does this help you guys in front of votings with this ordinance, is the 20 feet is 20 feet, and it doesn't
No.
take you.
No,
It's just that section there in front of the stop sign when you're coming off of Iron Creek, you got the stop sign.
I mean, you're
Or they will look down.
behind me, and you guys, I'm just asking your agenda says in front of Odie's. What's the plan with that then?
not right in front of Odie's. It's actually in
Is
front of
that-
Chris Robinson's place there. It's just that corner.
It's not
up there.
Okay.
Well, we don't have nothing down in front of those or farther down on either side.
So it's just gonna be that spot where people
So
pull
that's
out.
where the most interest is, people coming out of their parking lot. How do they actually involved with that, nothing to do with?
Well, that would almost be
And
their
how,
own.
if the guy who was coming out of the parking lot,
One spot, wouldn't
Well,
it?
they can't designate.
that hit, you couldn't see past the cars.
What was, you were telling me about that?
This morning.
Yeah, and the vehicle was coming down Iron Creek when he went.
No, the vehicle was headed out of town.
Was headed out of town.
And then the vehicle
Come out.
came out of the parking lot and T-boned that truck and pushed it all the way and turned around and parked on the curb.
Okay.
You can't see coming out.
Because there's a-
You don't profile vehicle, there's not enough room to see past the pickups. Yeah, I think that's where everybody's concerned.
Okay, the 3 complaints I got are coming off Iron Creek.
Oh, well,
Or
we're gonna
actually
see,
coming
I mean,
off Iron.
I'm with him, we're gonna see more coming out of these because they do park pretty close to the entrance and exits.
Between the two exits.
Yeah.
So those forks right in between those two, that
If that was red,
yeah, no parking, yeah, so what I mentioned, yeah.
this is just a thought, if the fire department can step in and say, we want that for a fire zone. And keep people from parking there. Cause we don't have a fire zone technically. With that being a commercial building, we can say that's a fire zone.
Just that 18 foot or whatever it is in between.
How we can get an ambulance or a fire rig in there, it's just like,
Leave that opened up.
it would help open it up, don't you think, Travis, it might help open it up a little bit. Even like 10 feet off of that entrance
Both ways.
before that section in the middle, I mean, I'm not trying to take parking away from a building, but I'm with him, that's a dangerous situation.
And also, if a person talks to people in Otis, they can request it from the state to make that like a 10 feet approach from their driveway, I know, so. So it's legal to keep people parking, stop.
Yeah. Well, I can,
You know,
Let's just request that.
I'll talk to that Jesse and see what I can do on that end of it.
that-
I just
that'd be a
went to the
thing.
corner of that so everybody can see, cause like I say, my 3 complaints were coming off Iron Creek.
Where they can see
Where
down.
they couldn't see down the highway to see what was coming, cause there was a big RV there, one of them, I think a truck was there and another one.
Well, it is, you know, so it's parked all the way to the road, all the way back home to my house.
I mean, I do understand it, like, when it's coming off Iron Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I
You know,
was
it's
out
out
there,
there,
both the ways twice, and, okay, nothing cool, and I start to go out, and there's a car. And
We're coming home, because everybody's maybe gonna make that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're well parked, good on time.
That's all deer. I spoke there yet last week. Doing 60.
Yeah.
That's deer.
Well, the deer wasn't.
You're gonna, speaking from the business side, we're gonna be, making things safer, but that will take parking away from them. They have other options, it's like you said, when it gets busy, it's completely fully parked. Where are these cars gonna park on, so it's traffic.
The thing that we gotta be careful about is more places we say no parking, we're gonna push parking somewhere else.
Yeah,
And possibly cause issues elsewhere.
at the storage shed, farther down the.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if we say no parking here, it's gonna go further towards the county shop and then.
They're almost at my house on Sunday.
Yeah, pulling in and out of the storage sheds is gonna become an issue too. It's definitely not an ideal spot for parking, business, residential, because you have the hill.
You have to be a bar and a restaurant.
There you go. I've done video.
Well, let's go back here. What's it about? Too, is that, you want new business in town, you wanna have, restaurants and stuff like that, but, they're in a bad spot, so, you're trying to make it safe for parking, but you wanna accommodate the business.
Oh, yeah.
Too, cause we want that business, and it's nice having another restaurant. But it is tough.
Well, even 6th Street coming out, 6th Street, the side. It's a road pavement, 25 miles an hour.
Well, I come bring a bus out on either one of those days, tell me.
I've been one, I'm trying to get out.
We gonna tackle the big one, in front of Larson's there.
Now, how long?
Which is.
Yeah, sure. Right up all, I
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's why they had to cut down some of the bushes on that corner, and then I think over here on First Street, they had to angle the fence off when it used to be so
Yeah,
tall.
down is right there. Yeah,
Now we're down it off.
And I noticed he took out that, a lot of that tree there last week, so I'll grow it up now.
But yeah, if there's a
Shit.
some of that we can have taken care of, yeah, we can definitely look at taking care of that. I mean, pretty sure there's got to be some kind of ordinance on that. We haven't looked up on that end of it. If First Street's been, the fence was taken down to a lower, so you can see around it. And I think it dropped down to 4 foot.
I think so, yeah. It looked good.
Yeah, and, yeah. So I guess that's what we're gonna look at putting on an ordinance for. We'll see what else we can do with it, and if somebody else has something else they come up with, then
Well, I think we just need to look into what streets, I don't know,
should we put one over here?
Put one what? No parking? We have Jack. Yeah, but a nice wide
You,
street there.
you got it.
John Winter.
Dump all the snow on our lawn.
No.
Go back out in the middle, like you didn't see.
Yeah, either into the middle and then we haul it to the tractor, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids and the movie theater was going all the time. That was a good spot to have the snow. It's right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, okay. Now we're gonna move on to public comments on matters not on the agenda. You wanna go first? You want him to go first, huh? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so two things, we got the safety manual from APPA. I'd like you guys to consider letting us adopt that at the power company, cause it really deals with all the issues we have. I've already got, 9 hours worth of videos, so that way we can go through and make sure we're up to date on current practices and everything dealing with power company. So, think about that. It'd just simply be, yes, we're just gonna adhere to the APPA safety manual and the practices that they preach. So, I mean, it's not a one-off thing. There's probably 300 or 400 different utilities around the country that use it. So, it's something that I don't have to think about. We don't have to figure out what safety rules we want. They're already in there and it kind of deals with the same type of situation here. The next thing is, it's called Hometown Grid. So if you guys probably can't see it too well, but the number is 406-295-1694. If you guys text that, this is a dispatch system that deals with power. So a problem we were having when we were applying for that federal grant is that we don't have history of our outages. And it's kind of hard to go back through 10 years of paperwork to find every single outage we have. So this system, all it does is that if one of you wants to text that number, type outage, it uses AI. I know we're all scared of it, but it's AI to actually fill out, find the address, tell what's going on, and then you talk to this, and then it sends a message here. This eliminates us having to rely on dispatch, who doesn't give us great information. When the city office is in, they're already slammed anytime there's any outage. So trying to take that information and relay to us. This gives it right to my phone, right to us. We can set who it calls at what point in time. We get email alerts, everything. If you have an issue and you put power pole down, car accident, it automatically updates it to an emergency. So once you figure it out, I mean, everyone once they go to it, it's really smart. It's really helpful. You can text back and forth through this, so that way if you want to use your personal number, granted there's only 3 of us once Dennis leaves. Everyone probably already has my personal number. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it keeps record, you can send photos, you can do all this. So like if we have a big storm that comes through and I've got 6 or 7 different areas it's out, I don't have to sit there and try and think one off. Where's the next power outage at? This lets us know, and it keeps track of how many people call in that area. So like it was 10 people call around your guys' house, you know, it'll show that whole street out of power. Now, right now, this is just something that the guy who runs this company put together real quick based on our city limits. So it's not actually up to date with what what our system is. But I mean, something to consider. I mean, I know we're not paying for anything right now that we know of the county to dispatch for us, but we also don't know how long that's going to continue to be free. So this system is geared towards power companies. I know I had talked to Ward about it because they do water, but he's like, you're not so much an emergency as you guys are when the power goes out. So this is kind of geared towards us. It's something that customers can log into also from any internet. It puts the weather over it. If there's a bunch of outages, it shows where the outages are. So that way, something happens, people can log in and go, what's going on here? They're not having to field 45 calls. Whoa, okay, you'll be on in 5 minutes. Like it just kind of bringing us a little bit more in the future, and it helps us track the outages and the numbers. So when we do apply for more grants, we can actually see how many times we've had power outages in a year. So also APPA, we can get reliability, like not grants, but rewards. So if we can show that for our customer base, how much our lights do stay on, we can get money from them for that, just being a reliable, electric provider. So something to think about. I mean, there's a cost to everything. Right now it's like $530 a month is what it's saying, and now it's with power and water. So obviously we don't need water. So and then I think he said depending on your call volume, it can be 4 cents a text message that you text back and forth. He goes, but if you don't have any outages, like we really don't have too many outages.
So $530 plus 4 cents
Yeah.
per text.
Yeah. 295-1694. So
Go ahead, Tim.
Also, one other issue you have, like you're on call, you get an outage, you're screaming out there, you get a call from dispatch with 15 people. Oh, such and such call, such and such call, such. You can't stop, write it down. You're like, oh, okay, it should be most of this, and then you're trying to remember where they were, and if there's another outing somewhere else, especially during a storm. I mean, if it's a squirrel or something like that, it's pretty storms. You can be scattered throughout the whole system.
I'm sending this now.
Yep. Like I said, your address won't work. because it's only
Less
city
about
limits.
it since you guys been maintaining it. So got it.
Did you get?
So what's going on right now? Is it like just giving you like a trial of it?
Yeah, it's just a trial of it right now. So, because I told him, I said I'd have to talk to you guys and that, and see if this is a route that we might potentially look into, or if it's not, then it'll just be done. So,
Did it show up?
no, did you type in outage and answer all the questions?
No, but this.
You have to answer the questions. You got to know what's wrong.
Well, he sent me a text back.
That's the thing. So you have to interact. You're interacting with it, and so it says, "Okay, what's going on?" So right here. Thanks for contacting Florida Power and Light. Shot at a woodpecker, hit the transformer, it's on fire. Cover is fire. So I mean, like it's live. I'm seeing exactly what was. So
Last four again?
16 years.
yeah. So and then like right here, so it would send me a text message or an email. But all I can do is I can click on power, and once he finally puts in the address and everything, it'll show up where the issue is.
Okay. Yeah, I just put 1234 Elm Street and said we're unable to locate that.
See, yeah, it won't let you put in an address that's not actually in city limits. Yeah. So, and it should come up with a red dot here. Now, if it was water and a blue dot, like I said, we don't use water. So,
Thank you for the update. Do you know if the power outage is affecting your neighbors? So I don't care. They don't have a woodpecker.
You selfish neighbor.
all messages back and forth, what's happening. So, like I said, I know it's AI, and I know that's scary to a lot of people right now, but this solves an issue of having a dispatch center, of having people call back and forth. So,
It's really cool for power because it's instant. It's like with us, where there's a very rare occasion where water, somebody be like, hurry up, my basement's flooding, but that's like very rare scenario.
so, and it'll show up that
Yeah.
right here, customer alerts. Shot fire. It's even got exclamation points. Like So I go through here, I can acknowledge it, I can call a customer, I can do street view, you know what I mean, like. So when talking to the gentleman who sets us up, he's like, we'll overlay your guys' electric system on the map. So that way people can look in and see exactly what's going on. And then when they take pictures, you have record of it, you know, everything is just
Line on
stored. So.
Go ahead.
Just playing devil's advocate on this whole thing, I don't wanna rain
Go
on
ahead.
parade or anything. Is there any personal information that we would be feeding to this outside company for the service that could be sold or?
No, so it's like anything, so it's an agreement. So you would have an agreement with them. It's not something that they would just shut down your information out on the internet. So you would have a non-disclosure agreement with them.
Right.
And that any information they have that would be sensitive, like they wouldn't have any billing information, they wouldn't have anything like that. All it would be would your name with your address
And your phone
and your phone number, which is already, you know what I mean, like just easy information to get. So it's not like you're giving them pertinent details about your account or anything. They're just using it for a blanket. Go to this address, they've got an issue.
But that's a physical address.
Yeah, it's got to be a physical address. If you make it up or prank call it, it's not going to work. And if people start really messing with the system just to kind of, let's text 500 times, you can block those numbers. So, granted, we don't ever want to block our customers, but if you have people who are just trying to abuse something, like what time is it right now? I mean, then obviously, you like stop calling and asking the computer what time it is. So,
Are you guys technically a city servant? So I know that there's fines involved in misusing city services. Could that be applied in this case?
we've never looked into that. So, I mean, we have fines for tampering, for, you know, stealing power, stuff like that, but never really anything like this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we use anything like this currently right now, but
Blocking somebody because they might need help.
yeah, absolutely.
I
So
don't know. Is it-
they definitely get a stern talking to, probably. Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, it's something to think about. I didn't make any promises to the guy or anything like that, but going forward, if we are gonna start putting in for more and more grants, the information that you get from this really helps us out, so.
And you said once that's up and going, then people can log on and see.
Yeah, anyway,
So that might help City Hall from getting some of these.
so, it's got weather on top of it. So if you have weather moving through, it'll actually show the weather.
It'll show up though also when City Hall's not home.
Yep,
That's what's going
yep,
on.
and that's the thing, like, instead of calling City Hall or dispatch for a power issue, they would call or text this number. And it would be done with. There'd be no more, how many phone calls did you get, you know, how many outages, them taking notes and be like, hey, if you have a power issue with your electric, call this number or text this number. So, and that kind of just solves it all together.
How long's the trial?
Basically, it's a dummy system right now. He said I could use it until we figure out yes or no.
Oh, okay.
So, but like I said, it doesn't have any further information on it. So, it's only two things I wanted to show, and so figured you guys could sit there and think about it, and we'll come back and talk about it next month or so. So, yeah, I just restored it. It's gonna send Ward a text message. It's gonna say your power should be restored right now. Yep, stop shooting at owls.
By a not.
Yeah, I scope, but yeah, that's the two things I had. So you guys consider those. Appreciate it. So if anyone wants to log on, I'll send the information. You guys can look at it at your computer or on your phone. So
Well, thank you. Okay. Let's go on. You wanna go first?
Sure. Okay. So my name is Justin Hammond. I've met a few of you guys, but just to let you guys know where I'm coming from and kind of my goals moving forward. I'm looking to acquire that land behind the CHC building from Mr. Davis. And I've already applied for a couple of business licenses. I might apply for another one depending on how this goes. But the idea is I'm a young man, just got married, wife wants 10 kids kind of deal. I've got a few friends that are in similar situations. And one of the big concerns in the area is jobs, how to survive as a family kind of deal. I've got a really good job right now at the Boyer Mill, benefits, all that good stuff. However, there's rumblings going on about the economy. Everybody's worried about that. but the Moye mill is kind of where we're not moving inventory. Prices are bad. It's not a good face, but been shutting down a couple of times in order to pull demand from supply from the market and all that, stuff to do in part time. But that got me thinking about things that I could do as a, moving away from being an employee and into the business owner realm of things, self-sufficiency. And so one of the business ideas that I have is there's always a need for a butcher shop in the area. I've tried to get a job a couple of times with Max out at Alta Vista, and things just didn't work out schedule wise and that kind of stuff. But I know from our discussions that he is always booked out, extremely busy, and I've heard rumblings through the town, more need, it's hard to get in and that kind of stuff. Prices are just escalating because of the supply and demand. So I think that would be, there's a need for that in the local market, and it's a need that I'd like to fill on that land out there. The issues that I have is I want to do everything legally. I want to be in communication with the city council to make sure that everything is above board. And in my preliminary research, I ran across a few regulations, specifically in regards to slaughtering within city limits. And as far as I understand, that little subdivision that I'm looking to acquire from is technically within. So that's the issue that I want to bring to the council today is if I am going to set up a butcher shop on that land, I do want to offer as many options to the local customers as possible. And in-house slaughter would be one that I would really like to push for as an option. I'm not looking to raise animals. I'm not looking to keep animals for any extended period of time. It's just kind of a thing of an option that somebody can bring an animal to that facility and I can immediately slaughter it and hang it kind of deal. But that's something that I want to bring for you guys. What are the current laws? We talked about it a little bit, but if there are current laws on the books prohibiting such a practice, is it possible to create an amendment for a commercial enterprise, or if I can get some ideas on how to proceed to offer the best options for my customer?
So I don't know about the ordinance that's so 4-4-4 slaughtering animals, and that's where he's discussing if there's a way of amending that. And our ordinance has been amended lots of times.
Sure.
So it definitely can be.
Sure. And if it's such a thing as if I need to go door to door and create a petition and get some local interest so that that it's going to be a big demand kind of deal, or to add weight to that request, I'm willing to do that. Or just if we can make a decision just between us, however we want to work.
Are you wanting to do indoor or outdoor killing?
Well, the big thing, because I've run butcher shops before in my travels, so I have experience in it. I want to restrict visibility from the public, especially for that operation. So I'm thinking of designing the building in such a way that it will be in a sort of horseshoe pattern that excludes vision from three sides, and I direct those sides toward Highway 2 and any residential areas. Basically, the open side of the horseshoe will be facing toward Chapel Cedar, and I think those are big boys that can handle something like that. But so the idea is I want to take. I'm totally willing to take steps to make everybody comfortable and to keep it kosher kind of deal. But I would like it would be easier to have kind of like what I'm envisioning the design is, like I said, a horseshoe shaped building with a cover over the top of it that I can incorporate a rail system. And basically somebody can back up a trailer to that courtyard area of the horseshoe and then slaughter in there, winch up and roll into the cooler area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for processing.
Right, but like I said, my main thing is to keep it private, and so because I don't want to cause a ruckus, residential neighbors or people on the highway or anything like that. So we'll be completely blocked from view from those areas.
And would you plan on like max people will bring animals to him, they'll sit there for a day or two until he kills and processes, or would you just do like deliver on site, kill and butcher and be done?
It depends on the local ordinances that I have to abide by. I could provide the option of like drop it off overnight and I'll slaughter in the morning, but I don't want to keep animals long term because then I have to feed them and all that kind of stuff. So it would be a very quick turnaround is what I'm looking for. But I might have a holding bin depending on how busy it gets kind of stuff. But once again, I want to make sure that it's above board. whatever I do. But yeah, it'd just be basically like Max's model, he's a custom cutter. So I'm not gonna be selling individual cuts of meat because I have to get the USDA involved for inspections and stuff like that. If I just stay a custom cutting operation where I'm basically butchering an entire animal for a certain individual and they get all the cuts.
Yeah, no resale.
Exactly, no resale. Just providing that service for folks.
That's on the sewer, right, out there?
Yeah.
So what would happen to all of your blood or?
Oh,
So I mean,
I'm
'cause that-
open to talks on that. Now, I'll be producing a lot of sawdust, so I can soak up, excess blood and stuff, and I can actually create products such as blood meal and stuff like that. But I'm open to discussions on what's the best way to handle that. If I need like a holding tank that it gets pumped on occasion, I'm open to that as well.
could the sewer system handle that or?
I don't think it's.
That would have to be a DEP. Yeah, the clotting of blood and stuff causes problems with ulcers, so I wouldn't want to mess you guys up with that.
That's like, have you ever been through Missoula? Over on like Reserve?
Yeah.
The dailies where they make like Dave's bacon. Here they do their own slaughtering and stuff.
Oh,
But they've got like, it's almost like their sewage lagoons, it's just for the blood and that stuff, cause they process it themselves. That's why you drive through Missoula in the evening, it smells like something like rotting.
Sure.
It's
And that's another consideration, because there is some residential properties nearby that I don't wanna cause, a ruckus with. So if there's an option to keep down any excess smell or make it as comfortable as ever for everybody, I'm open for that. But now's the time to have this discussion because I'm in the very preliminary steps of this whole enterprise, so I just wanna know what would be best for the town as I'm planning this out.
One thing to bring up is that subdivision has never been accepted under the connection.
How's that?
What's that?
How's that one?
You talk to that Ken Davis, get him off dead set on that.
He's,
The
we,
connection application.
yeah, we've already gone through this with Ken, and all he had to do is change some wording on it. And everybody was willing to accept it, and that's before I was sitting here, I was sitting right there. All I have to do is accept what we had on it, or change some of the stuff that he wanted to, and then we just run it back through our attorney, everything's good.
So what you're telling me right now, the stands I can't hook up.
Sewer.
Nope, sewer water is off limits to
Okay.
Until he changes.
till he gets the.
Do you know what item he's
Connection.
talking about?
Huh?
Do you know what item he's talking about?
It's Ken Davis, who knows? It literally went on for months.
Oh my God, it's years. For years.
Yeah, well, and we finally just said, we dropped it as city council and.
So maybe that's why nothing has happened on that land.
So it was brought up many times, like TJ was saying, to the council at the time. It was changed. We changed it with our attorney, changed it, and presented it to him. And it was presented to him several times, and he came up with, okay, I don't want this, I don't want that. So finally, what the council did at the time, is says, fine, we're done bringing it up as an agenda item. You either give us something in writing that has that changed the way you want it, and we'll take a look at it and have our attorney look at it, make sure it's legal.
For clarity, do you know if there's any infrastructure changes that need to be made in order to have that approved? Or
As far as I know, when we asked him to have a camera put down it, he had a camera put down it. It was accepted. It's all cooked up, nice and neat. It's all done right.
Yep.
And you were part of that.
Yep.
He just needs to sign that paperwork.
it really just dots some lines? Okay, I'll get on him about it.
Because I'm concerned it was nothing, no big deal.
I would, if I was you, your homework, go to the courthouse and pull the subdivision and read what the covenants are on it.
I have done that.
Okay. I don't know what they say, but
They were very lax and lenient. There was some stuff about fire control and stuff, but it's all very reasonable. Nothing for everyone.
Anybody buying property should have their surveys and know their covenants.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in city limits, you can't put in a septic system or a well, right? So you can't hook up to the water and sewer at this point, and you can't do those alternatives, just. So that's clear.
Yeah, no, you can't put
Now-
a septic system in.
Now, what about a holding tank?
irrigation? You can if you go through the council.
Oh, like if it's a like to be compliant with DEQ holding tank, is that what you're talking about?
I'm
Or like
talking
a
about
water
like
holding
flood
tank.
runoff and stuff that can't go into the sewer.
Then
That's different. She's just
Yeah,
saying,
like
she was saying you can't,
in-ground
you can't
septic
start
system.
getting
You can't start
hooked up
your own
by
septic
doing a
tank.
septic
Oh,
system
okay.
and drilling a well.
yeah, you can't have the septic with a drain field. It has to be completely sealed, like just like you were
like a whole thing.
a holding tank down by the river or something that needs pumps from the sewer guys. Not our sewer guys, but like Cecil had the sewer. What?
Sucker drug?
No, it's just called business. I can't remember the call it.
What's it?
Cecil.
Something,
Like, yeah, but I couldn't remember the name of the business. But yeah, it just pumps the septic out.
So there's a local business established that does it. That's good.
Now, whether he can do the blood part of it, I don't know, I couldn't.
Does he bring it to the sewer system?
Oh, no, he's not. He's gonna have to eat steak brains on it.
Yeah, those are my main concerns. The other two operations that I'm looking to get into is setting up a nursery that specializes in heirloom vegetables and fruits and that kind of stuff. And the sawmill, which I've already applied for business license on that. But in my mind, everybody's gonna need to build stuff, everybody's gonna need to eat, so those are the things that I focus on if I'm looking to maximize stability for my family and make a buck here in town.
It's good to get new businesses around. Helps out.
Mika, this is because Don Shaver does.
Max doesn't even do game anymore because he's so busy.
Yeah, and I'm open to doing wild game out there. Whatever the local demand is. Because that would also eliminate the need for me to slaughter. It's already done.
Yes.
But as far as some clarification on local regulations or whatever we need to do to make this work, I'm willing to play ball.
And when we run the slaughter,
We just got-
slaughter from you, but they're not
So
slaughter.
you guys think about it.
Or and just
Discuss it a little bit.
So you have a deer.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you get good
Clearance, so
it's just going to.
I know some charcuterie. So, you know.
just kind of see what the other towns do and what you guys think, and then we can bring it back up again. Like I say, it's not gonna be like in the next month or two, but it's something that can be discussed and thought about, seeing how it has been done in other towns.
Right.
Because guaranteed, the towns in eastern Montana, they definitely deal with a lot of slaughter.
Yep.
So
So is this something that I should pester you guys about, or just pop in from time to time and see how it's going?
pester us. It seems like the squeaky wheel gets a little bit of
You know,
Okay. Did you want to go? Can I'm gonna go.
No, okay,
So I'm gonna just let you guys, the council know, I had Christina Sherrill get a hold of me. The town pump donated funds to put an electric scoreboard for baseball teams down in the park. Christina said that she would actually make sure that was signed over to the city of Troy forever. The way that talking with her, it's gonna be set up to where they
It'll stay there.
It can't happen like
Yeah, cause I got it last.
right where we got it, and then all of a sudden, bam, we're getting it taken away from us. So
That was Keith Dallas.
okay, well, whatever happened, Christina assured me that she would sign the paperwork saying that it is Troy's.
It should be.
And
And that's
it's town pump donated the money to the
baseball.
school.
Yeah.
So I know it's gonna be down here at the baseball field, of course.
Yeah. It wouldn't be in the same spot where the one is now with the power and everything right there, Clayton. That'd be acceptable. I mean, you're the guy. Mr. Baseball.
Oh, I like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll take her on it. He's glad wherever you want it.
I'm not. I can touch wires together, but
Well, it seems like.
I think we need to-
That's the logical spot.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier for you. Just don't. How close the O'Brien line is to the angle.
yeah.
So, cause you're not far off of it if I remember me. So,
Yeah, I have to take a look. You might be able to squeeze in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down.
Wait, how big of a billboard are we talking? Like,
Well, but she's gonna get a hold of more. Well, we went last one, I put two of those metal 8 foot or 8 inch pipes in, the same over here, the same one down there. And I think I buried in the ground about 4 foot, which we spent around and buried us that one.
There's like old tailings lines or
Yeah.
something. She, I had a missed call from her. I tried to call her back and then she answered, but by then it was like, so I'm assuming she was home for the day, but I'll call her tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, because she asked me about it and I told her what I thought about it, and then she asked if she could get hold of you and discuss it with you. Said best place to go is with you and discuss it with you, but we definitely need to have it set up to where never can they come in and say, "Hey, that's ours, bye." Like last time, that was kind of like that's been a battle since. So let's just keep it from being that battle. And whatever the reasons were, we don't need that kind of reasoning to have it. You know,
It's right for this place too.
we got a couple signs down there that we're supposed to have, and like from what I understand, they ain't even that great. So this is a good gesture of Christina getting this from the town pop and handing it over to the city of Troy and making sure that it's going to be part of Troy. For the baseball fields, which is for the kids in the school, it's really not us as adults, other than watching or like some people get the help.
We need a wage order. You know,
I think as long as we get that, I think that would be great.
yeah, no, I like that.
Okay, is good with that one. The fingerprinting thing, that's you got brought up.
Yeah, so with that, when I was working at the sheriff's department, they charged $10 to do fingerprints. And I think for bin inspections, I think I would charge like 18 or $20 or something like that. We just always did for free here. But it was brought up a while back, that maybe we should start charging $10 because a lot of times if we get pulled away from stuff, come in and do fingerprints, and I don't know how many I've done so far this year for the school. And so anyways, I told them that right now we're really busy because, you know, we're down to 3 of us and everything, but if I can come up there and do them, I'm happy to do it. You know, I'll come up there anytime, but I never promise that I can be there at a certain time in case I get called out on something. So last time, you know, she asked me if I could come up, I think at noon on a certain day, and I said, if I'm not called out on anything, you bet. And I said, but I'm not working on Monday, so you might want to call Henry. And so I guess that's where that got brought up. And I said, I was able to get up there and get the fingerprints. It's Thursday, I think we have some prints coming in. I said, yeah, I'm willing to come up and do those if I don't get a call or anything. So it was brought up, should we send them the link? And I said, well, the only problem is with Libby, they got a live scan machine, that's nice. But they have like a window of when they'll do fingerprints and they won't, so it ends up being an inconvenience for people. And that's why we were trying to, you know, help them out here. So I guess, the thing is, you know, if we're available, you bet, we'll go up there and do it. I think we are gonna start talking about, charging $10 on the fingerprints.
Yeah.
And do fit inspections.
So on the fingerprinting, on the charge part of the school just wants to know so they can pay for it and it'll go on to the kids or the other parents or none of that.
Yeah.
That would strictly come from the school and they just want to know that that's what's going to happen so they can do it.
And I haven't personally talked with you or anybody else on this yet, so I just still been doing it for free for right now until we get that figured out or make a decision on it.
Yeah. I remember a while back it was brought up about charging for the
Yeah.
time, but that's where that one comes in.
Because we've had receipts that we've written for it, so I feel like just that.
Some of them got let out for free and some were charged, okay. So if we just put it right straight across the board, it's $10 for anybody that comes in and gets it done. You know, like you say, when you have time, if you gotta go out and run somebody's plate or go arrest somebody, that's your job. You gotta go do that. So you won't be able to keep it on there, but try to set up a time where when it does happen, you have a little time, or maybe another officer's on duty at the time where you guys are sharing a shift or something.
Oh yeah, we could do that. I just didn't want to like say yes for sure I'll be there at noon, and then she called people in, and they got like 5 people sitting in the office waiting for me, and I get called out something else. I'm like, I'm sorry. Well, no, not well. I don't know about on Monday because I wasn't working out on that day, but she called me and said, "Hey, I got 4 people in here." And I said, and I was right in the middle of doing something. I was working the case, and I said, I'll just pause it right here. I'll run over and knock out this 4 and come back. I got there, ended up being like 7 or something like that. And I was, so I just busted them out real quick and got back over here. But that's when I told her that, hey, if we got time, I'm happy to come up and do it. That's, I mean, it's not hard to do, but it's just that I don't want to promise, say I will be here at this time, and then something pulls me away, and I got people sitting over there waiting for me. So that's what she said. Well, should we send them to Libby then? I'm like, well, I don't mind if they send them to Libby, but I know that they have a window that they'll want to do them too. So when I was working there, we did them all day long. Anybody showed up, we just do them, and then we start getting so many of them for employment prints and everything else that they start getting to be a big pain. So the sheriff's department said we'll do them from like 10 to noon or 8 to 10 or whatever it was they decided. And then a lot of people couldn't get over there because they had to work. We're like, wow, at that time I can't go over there. So we just start saying, hey, we'll do them for you guys.
More of an inconvenience going over there for a city rep.
Right. So we're trying to, what we want to do is we want to make it convenient for people, because we understand people got to work and everything. However, we just want them to know too that, if I get called out.
I want them to know you have to work too.
That's your job, is to keep the citizens protected. So you gotta cancel on an appointment for a fingerprint. I'm pretty sure most everybody would understand that.
Travis, on the bin part, they're supposed to call dispatch, right? So that dispatch can contact you and you can schedule a time with them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because most of the time they're just coming up. Hey, can I get them to do that right now? No.
Yeah, sometimes, and that's the problem with having dispatch now is that sometimes people they don't know they're supposed to call, or they don't want to call, and they see you guys in there and that's
Yeah, but sometimes they don't want to.
yeah, that's true.
So do we not have a policy on charging or selling price or anything else like that?
No.
I think that's probably one thing that we should do.
Yeah, if we're gonna make it same across board, we have a policy on
I
it.
think $10 is not a good question. We just want to have an answer.
Yeah, oh no,
Yeah.
she had no problem paying the
Yeah.
$10. She just wants to know,
Right.
okay, if we send somebody down there,
Yes.
that $10 is getting paid for by the school,
Oh,
not by the parent, not by the child.
Yeah, and it's usually an employee wanting a job or a volunteer or something who's out this, because we want to know who's at the school messing with kids.
Yeah, like she says, she had the school had no problem.
And she said, should I send them to Libby? And I'm just saying, hey, we're happy to do them. If we're available to do them, and then the school can pay for it. However, they want to do that part of it. We're just wanting to let them know that we're available or we're willing to if we're not.
That everybody should understand an officer's position is.
Yeah, when they're available, also at this time, if something comes up, I mean, that's you gotta do your job first.
If we were like Libby, I'm not dissing Libby at all, but they have a couple extra officers over top of what we have.
Right.
That can help out when it comes to something like that.
And last week was stupid busy, and so it was like, I was like, oh, I know we got people up there waiting. I'm like, oh, and so I hit save on my report because we had this big thing going on, and I thought I lost my report. I thought, no, it took me almost all morning for that, and then I got back, it was still there. I'm like, so.
Good.
I have another idea for the butcher shop. I'm just a working man, so I don't know the details of how this all plays out legally. But kind of in my travels, I always keep a discount. I discount the price of butchering an animal if I was to keep like a hindquarter or something like that. Bartering kind of deal. But as far as like taxation goes, well, back up. If I was to do that butcher shop, so I'm a Christian, if I'm gonna be bringing kids in the world, I kinda wanna set a good example. One of the things that I personally want to incorporate is the idea of tithing. Not necessarily just giving money to somebody, but actually physically taking something and doing some good in the community. So kind of one of the ideas that I have is to offer discounts similar to that, or keep a cut of the meat, but I'd like to partner with a local food bank or something like that. I just don't know the legality of doing that as far as taxation goes and all that. Who do I need to talk to about such an endeavor?
That's what we're all. I'm not gonna sit here and have barbecue. It's got an extra piece of meat, it's not barbecue. If you gave the barbecue. I took a double check.
So I think you answered your own question because it's kind of answering it to me when you talked about selling the meat there. You had to go through a certain process to be able to sell meat like that. You might want to start there and see if that is the place to start.
Cause that's like livestock, right, for Steve.
I
I don't know. I would imagine.
What I guess I would need to know the regulations of what is allowed to be donated.
The food pantry is not a city entity, it's its own thing.
So is it like state or federally regulated?
it's
It's just part of the Montana Bank.
I'm sure it's regulated on what can be donated,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I don't.
How would you have to know that?
wild stuff.
And that's not even our.
I mean, I can
And you know,
day on
taxation, that's between you and your accountant, we don't have.
better.
Taxes. That's maybe like start.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, we see Max Schrader and put me on point in the right direction.
I got a meeting with him on Saturday, so.
Woods Meat would be another one to talk to. Maybe the Watsons now. I don't know if they have.
But there's issues on, yeah, there's getting farm all this stuff.
So out of curiosity, just put cans in first and you would all the, how would you have?
Yes, that.
You may see me right on why would you shit all that's why you're about to do that.
You're gonna see like games, call him, grab that.
No problem, no walking, picking up.
And but, see, there you go. I'm saying the same thing, but I know what I'm saying, there's
I saw that.
And it may be different than it's giving it to people, not to the food bank.
okay, yeah, I
You know
don't
what I
know,
mean?
I'm just.
I just don't know if there's any local regulations that I would get smacked with if I like that.
Right, Riker, is he the one that's, Riker, is he the one that's in charge of the food bank?
no, Glenda or,
And
Yeah.
but I would call it Montana Food Bank Network, cause they would have a system for, especially for wild game.
Oh, good.
It's
Yeah.
roadkill,
Right.
it's donated a lot.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah, sure.
Can you
It's
think,
donated a
I
lot.
think something that's being slaughtered and processed in facility would be a little safer than roadkill.
Or something like that.
There's all kinds of stuff that donated.
There's like,
Programs where just.
We're kind of just like to look at things.
Cause anything.
Yeah,
it's kind of
nice. So, yeah, it's just a Christian principle I'm trying to go by, but I'd like to flesh it out on a business level. Is there any like local charities or anything that would want to accommodate something like that, or should I take this on myself?
Hoffman's Barbecue.
Yes, eat all you want.
I'm specifically looking for people in need. So, but I'm yeah, absolutely.
You think you don't talk. So we can't say
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing we can sit beside that one for him now. No.
if you food poison a bunch of people, that's between you and me.
That's a suit on your hand. Go ahead, Mike.
Alright.
Great.
One more thing.
Just an update. I don't know if this, you guys seen it or not. The stage is here. It has arrived. It's big. It's beautiful. It's humongous. It's heavy as shit. Excuse me. But it's. We got it to a point where we got it 4 feet off the ground, and it's sitting right now where it's in my front yard. It's 24 by 24 foot. We did set the stage up itself. We just did the trusses and stuff that we set up to a place. Stage is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm not gonna put it up until we need to put it up. So, but what was thrown out there, update, we don't need to throw the convex box down at the public lakes. We're actually using the one behind the building here. We, after clearing out years and years of crap, that's been sitting back there. Matter of fact, you can get your 1994 July 4th of July t-shirts over at the Chamber of Commerce if you want. So they're over there right now. So basically, we made a space so we can actually get the whole stage put back behind. So we don't have to deal with it. But there is a problem getting it over and stuff. And I'm going to talk to Lars about this and hopefully, fingers crossed, that we can, because it's big, it's so heavy and things done. Point is that I wanted to talk to electrical. I did kind of want to change where I wanted to put the stage because I wanted to put it over here. Now I'm thinking more on the side of the skate park sitting on, close over to the box. It was more electrical, I think. I don't know for sure, but find out. I know that the last group that was here that was playing, they had electrical sitting over there. It was probably about the same amount of electrical and maybe me.
I didn't provide any electrical to any of the bands.
They didn't? Was that a wall generator? Okay. So that was, I wanted to talk, see what, if there was going there, because if we're putting it closer to a building that has electrical to it to make things easier for the events of those days. Along those lines, it came up to me, it's like, I got the stage and stuff, they said, well, I thought it would be a bad idea to actually set it up on the weekend to see what we would need to basically set it up, get it all implemented in place, and then it was brought to me, why don't you just do movie nights on the lawn out there? And I thought, well, we could do a nighttime movie night. I said, okay, well, we talked. I talked to 0 to 5. I talked to a couple different places that are getting behind it with sponsors. So we basically have a movie night for the town. I come out there and play Goonies or Lost Boys or something like that to go up there. To bring the sound system down. I'm not even sure, Scott, if that's still that projector's still around that you guys replaced last year with the one that was
I think it is.
with the new one. I think I talked to Ticey about it. She said it might be still around. Now we can actually take that, hook it up, and actually do a show. So I can actually set the stage up, put the screen across the front side, bring my sound system in, set up music out there. People come out there, bring their blankets and their pillows. Have a big, basically, movie night out. Weather's been nice with us. It's going to be nice for a couple more weeks. I thought, that would be something. But then again, I don't know who'd run that across, other than the fact that I could go and reserve it for a night. That night, problem is, I'm going to need some time to get the stage set up. But again, if I can talk to Lars, if they can help me out, they have just have to drive by and saw the big long trailer. And I started thinking that James drives the forklift. I think all of a sudden two came together. So, if not, or I don't know if the city has something that they can help out with to get it raised up in the air, to get it just inside of the place. It's one of these things where I want to get it up there, get it set, do that movie night, be done with it. Take it down, store it away. We don't have to worry about it till next year. We're all start going with the city, start making reservations for dates. I'm working with the Timber Beast and the guys at before, because I want to step on my toes. But we're going to have at least 3 events that we planned, along with the 4th of July event going on there. I think all of our insurance coverage that we have actually covers all of that. So we put a $1,500, something like that, $2 million cover. So I want to basically get it set up this year so we know what's going to happen. For next year when we take it down, we start getting everything all set up basically. So with the blessing of the city, if that's okay, I'll start the wheels in motion and find out whether or not I can get Larson down there to help me out with this and get it set up in place. I'll reserve it for the night. I'll pay the $25 myself for the night to have the community come down there and watch the movie. But it may take 2 days to get it set up, to get everything down. If everything falls in place, no, if they'll go up in 1 day. We've already got it all put together except for the 4 corner pieces, which is the 10 foot that raises to 10 feet up. It's still have to dismantle everything, but all the pins and all that stuff are all set in place, so it makes it easy. So basically, if it's a thumbs up, it's an okay, I will move forward and contact the people that we need to contact. Also, I sent a message out to Milo today too, because we're talking about doing reader boards for the football games. Not reader board, but sandwich boards to start, announcing the football games so people know when they're going on the corner of the high school. We put the announcement on that, like basically do a free movie night down at the park. Who needs to go to 8:30 or something like that. If we get the approval on it to go move it in.
Reserve the park.
Just reserve the park, it's yours to do that. I mean, does anybody have a problem if it takes him an extra day to get it taken down, to not charge him for something that he's not really using? Okay. Think that's a problem.
No, it's like, well, people will be on the grass.
Because one of the issues we do have, and I've dealt with it for years when I was on the city side and on the board, is having to deal with it. All these events come in, no water in the grass dies, and everybody complains that the grass is dead.
Well, this time of year, we're getting ready to blow the snow.
But it's one thing that needs to be addressed and looked at and thought.
Yeah, that happened. There,
But right on,
like
I'll get
this
ready
year.
to blow sprinklers out, so we.
Oh, yeah, you're just getting close.
Yeah, cause you about lost the soccer between the Timberwolves,
It happens fast.
the freaking, what is it, the Nuggets when they showed up, so.
Past the Union game, there was, I mean, it's.
The other night, we was for the first time, we went to that movie night, I think there were 74 black counted, down for the whole, thing there on Thursday night, she played the Goonies for like an hour and a half, from 9 to 10:30 or something. And I think I counted 74 people, which I was shocked, that's the first time I ever gone, but there was, quite a few people there.
So if it's a go, I'll start doing talking. I'll give my fellow call to let you know that yes, we got everything all set up, ready to go. I'm going in 2 weeks, not this Friday, or actually not this Saturday, but the next Saturday is what I'll be shooting for. And I don't think anything will go in.
14th, we have a home football game, but it's a Saturday during the game 1 to 4, so it doesn't affect it. Kids will be in town.
Yeah, kids will be in town basically.
What are
So, yeah.
Yeah, let's say soccer, you have to hear this, Rex.
After soccer started, that's what Cody's and Libby with the kids tonight. They shared their first game 6
Okay,
weeks.
so who do I need to contact?
Parks and Rec department.
Libby or?
Yeah, you're.
Isn't Mr. Valentine's the main guy for soccer?
No. No, Ben, Shannon.
Oh, okay.
I don't night games anyway.
She's done fun.
No, not night games. She's working on getting.
Okay, so I think she was.
Well, they wouldn't have night games, but if it's gonna be there for
Yeah, during the play, shot them, yeah.
on the Saturday, they may have.
Well, the stage is gonna be set up above the parking lot, so that wouldn't be on the field. The only thing on the field wise would be the people when they come that night to
Right.
get it set up. Yeah, they're gonna come.
How tall is
I think it's 10 feet up, and then it's got the arches that go up probably almost 15 feet, 16 feet tall.
Yeah,
That's how shit's an arches.
It's cool
so
looking.
15 from ground to that?
Yeah.
One thing
Yeah,
closest to the power.
yeah, you're not gonna get close to the skate park.
No, it's actually against the fence on the ledge of the.
Power and jump.
You're getting there. Just don't go, the other stuff.
No, it's right basically on the edge, and once we get the stage, it'll be higher. So everybody can see out, if you're gonna watch a concert out there, you'll be able to see all the way back from the playground, all the way up, and everybody will be able to see who you are, so. Was the main goal. That's it for me, I'll shut up.
So on the 14th, I think.
I'll just text Shannon and let her know.
Okay.
So she is, that's it.
Also, there is no, that building cannot sustain,
Okay.
the well house.
So the power that you pull over for the 4th of July that comes down below, that comes out to the edge there, does that come from the
That comes
concession
from
stand?
concession stand.
Okay, it comes from the concession stand, so for that night, I can bring the cords over, I've got enough, I got a couple hundred feet of cords that would give me the power that I would need. I'm just looking for more towards, to find out, this would be like a troubleshooting time to figure out if we're gonna do those concerts. Remember, I gotta keep on pointing this out, I'm not making a freaking cent off this, it's already taken 2 to 3 months of my time to get this stuff all lined up. I'm doing this for the community to raise money to give back, if we can help the police force, if they need more money, or if you guys need some more sprinkler systems, that's where this money's gonna come from, it's gonna go out, it's not gonna go into my pocket, it's gonna go out to the people that need it at a time, even like 4th of July, we're just ridiculous that we're spending $10,000 on fireworks, and it happens in 50 minutes, and that's the hardest thing to raise money for, is to get $10,000.
20 minutes and 54 seconds.
Sometimes you can spend things, I'm gonna 12.
But I'm just telling you, I know how to done with times a timed event.
Okay, so, and
They sing fast.
And if we get to raise money for that, too, to put that, because it takes the ease off the chamber. I mean, we're talking about making this a 503 instead of doing the 506, so we get more of the benefits of writing stuff off, just because it's such an expensive thing. And the 4th stuff, it's the only people that are going to be thrown as the chamber, and you're backing them out left and right. Susie's not going to be here next year. It's gonna be on my shoulders. I'm finding a few new people that come in, so we don't even have a VP right now, so it's just one of those things where it's nerve wracking. I got so much on your plate. And I just need to make sure that I can move forward with everything, and it will pay off for everybody in the end if we can make this happen. So that's all I'm gonna say. All right. Good.
Jonathan has that big camera right next to your room.
Okay, John. Perfect.
Ward for soccer, is there water down there that kids can drink? Any other, Shannon's asking that.
Is there a mower on the concession stand?
There is not that we can. So the frost free faucets that are over there along the riverbank, all those are in city water.
Are they,
I'll just have.
can they use them?
Yeah, I'll just have to take a lock out.
Okay.
Like the one that picnic tables. Cause I
So
think they
Make sure they know they'll, I mean,
Yeah, we're
I mean, they can lock them out, so we don't have people stealing the water. Make sure he knows if you're gonna use them, if the.
I'm not, Shannon was just wondering because there's practices down there every day and kids have, you know, they're thirsty.
yeah, we just
Nice to
had
have somewhere to fill
With
the
the
water.
we just had to start locking them up because kids they were
Yeah.
Yeah.
so but yeah I can unlock one of them because they're it's city water they can drink it so
Okay. Okay, so the one by the picnic,
yeah I'll unlock it there.
thank you.
Isn't there one by the concession stand?
Not sure, I don't think, is there?
There is a spigot. There's a spigot by the propane tank.
What happened to the drinking stop that was down there?
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's
Which
year.
Okay, I just know there was one down.
It's Brian.
So we were having to line the river and take some plus.
Brian or something. Yeah, probably smart move.
If they're really thirsty, there's a couple things to fill up a dog thing. Yeah, they drink it.
But yeah, there's by the big propane tank next to the concession stand.
Yeah,
There's a little faucet there. That's city water.
that
too.
one
But
was
the
working.
the actual drinking fountains they haven't worked.
They haven't worked in years.
Not since I've been drinking.
They were cheap when we bought them and the mechanisms running all busted up and having wrong.
That's one of the things on our list that's long as
Hmm.
get rid of those things because they don't work anyway. They're just ugly.
Did you wanna talk about the reserve
Yeah.
officer?
So back in 2016, when I came over here, Troy had just started back up with the reserve program. And we had Alan had found a reserve academy over in Helena, which was a really good deal because when I worked at the sheriff's department, it would take them sometimes 2, 3, 4 years to get somebody up to a level 1 reserve. And a level 1, the difference between level 1 and a level 2 is a level 1 can take a car out by himself. Level 2 has to ride with a sworn officer. And it would take that long for the sheriff's department just because, not being fault of their own, but they'd have to, assign a deputy to the reserve program, and then he would have to, in his spare time, teach get a class together and teach it, and you have to have like 88 hours or something to get to be a level 1 reserve. So, they might teach a class on ethics or something, and then it might be 6 months down the road before he can put together another class, and firearms instructors and all stuff. Well, the reserve academy was really cool because they knocked it out in 3 weekends. But it was $425, I think, for the class, plus your gas going over and back, and your lodging and your food and all that stuff. So, anyways, the guys and I were talking in our last patrol meeting, and we were like, we want to get out, because we all know that the drug problem in Lincoln County is horrible, and it is all over Montana, but we want to be able to be more aggressive and do drug interdiction stops, and that's a good way to get things, drug interdiction stops. They lead to other stuff, and and getting them warrants to get into some of these drug houses and things. So we were like, you know, if we could get maybe 5 solid level 1 reserves, and then to add to our force, and then we could be out, you know, more. We could pick nights that we say, hey, let's go out and force and do look for DUI stops and do drug interdiction stops, and having the reserves would be really good. For one, it's helping them out. They're learning about this stuff, so that they want a career in law enforcement. Two, you can't do a good drug interdiction stop with one officer by himself. It's dangerous. You can't search a car if you have to pull 3 or 4 guys out while you're waiting for a K9 unit and all this stuff. So we thought, you know, building that reserve program up and get some level 1s out there, then we could you know, then we could do this. And Henry had brought up a good idea. He goes, can we help out the reserves a little bit, because, you know, as an expense on them, and at least help with the class portion of it. And I said, well, I'd look into it, see what we could come up with. And then he said, hey, you know, maybe we could get the local businesses involved and see if they'd like to help sponsor a reserve, you know, and maybe not cover everything. It's good for them to have to come up with some stuff. They have skin in the game that way, you know, and everything. That way we're not paying for everything 2 months down the road to go, hey, I don't want to do it anymore. But this also, you know, but this would help them out a little bit, because it is an expense, driving back and forth to Helena, you know, for 3 weekends and lodging and stuff like that. So that was an idea. Our last meeting, we hadn't really, you know, so we haven't really. I checked to see if they're still doing that reserve academy, because they had stopped for a while. It looks like they do. It looks like they maybe doing that again. I saw some classes for this October, and it's at the college, I think, over there in Helena. So there's an idea, and I thought it was a good one. So we got.
What you'd like to do is have people in the businesses kind of donate money
Yeah.
to the reserve program.
Yeah.
What did you say, 400?
$425 for the class.
That covers all of them?
That's on 3 weekends. Yeah, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So yeah, he brought this to me, and I thought it was a good idea, and I told him as a business myself, I would sponsor an officer on that, and then challenge anybody else that wants to sponsor an officer to do it. I mean, that's
So
that'd be
as a
good
business
idea.
owner, do you get special protection?
Just because you donate don't mean you get it.
It's like,
Yeah, but and we would still, when they come back here, we'd still do like an FTO training with them, because they still need to, well, like for instance, when we did it, you know, we rode for a number of months when we came back, and they made sure that, you know, hey, we're comfortable with traffic stops and radio, and where the location, where all the streets are, you know, if there's somebody new coming into our area and stuff like that. So, but this would get them to level 1 certification, and then we would put them through an FTO training. And then, hey, if we did a night where we come out, like, hey, we're gonna do these stops, you know, we could give one guy, hey, here's keys to this car, and then I'm gonna jump to this car, and we're gonna cover both ends of town. And
That's a good idea.
Will you let us know what nights those are?
Every night.
Sponsor one, will let.
Don't know. By now, you ain't gonna get on, you ain't gonna help us. So,
Just make sure you get the right sticker. So.
oh, they're on the next.
No.
So yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea for the reserves to give them, you know, it definitely gives them an incentive to do it, so it's not the cost out of their pocket as much, but they're still looking cost out of their pocket.
Yeah, when I first started here, I think we had 10. But we're just looking for, at least right now, a good, you know, 5 solid guys or gals that want to come out and do this. And but when I started here, I think we had 10, and a lot of those guys, you know, went on to other departments and everything, and got them foot in the door, and you know, some training, and they've gone on to other places.
And right now we have 2 dedicated ones.
I think we have 3 that are dedicated and one that's kind of, so. Yeah,
I know I hear 2 names all the time that are pretty dedicated. And
Right.
the 3rd one, yeah, I didn't know for sure on that one.
yeah,
4th one is kind of a,
yeah.
So what is the 425? Katie would try sponsor that. It'd be like having my own Terminator.
well, no special privileges because you donate to the. Yeah, right.
You just wanna drive the cow dirt.
So okay, there's that. Did we have anything else on that you want to talk about? Because that was pretty much it. Okay. So do we want to discuss Dollar General of what me and Ward discussed with the I don't know what he is. He's an engineer or whatever it is for him.
Yeah, he said the private defense definitely.
Yep.
They're willing to do the hydrant,
Yep.
the road widening views.
So everything we asked, we're gonna do.
Widening. Now they're not going to do twilight behind it. That's not going to be part of their plans. Everything's fenced off, so there's no big trucks going through there. It would be from the highway down Sunrise. Yes.
Yeah.
Down Sunrise. And Ward even came up with, if you were willing to widen this out, it's our city right away, so he'd be willing to help with widening that out. Not that, and he did state we cannot do nothing with the highway department. They have to go through the highway department to take care of the sidewalk up there, the curb, that kind of stuff. But on our right of way, Wards said that we, as a city, we could help widen that out for them there. And if I remember right, they were saying they're paving it anyways.
Yeah.
So that would be good. Yeah, that was what I had there about what we discussed with them on possibly helping them out there.
Yep.
Stormwater report, there has been a stormwater report submitted to the MDT for review. The report shows that they are capturing and treating all of their stormwater on their property to meet MDT and DEQ requirements. They made sure that. So pretty much everything that was discussed at the last meeting for Dollar General, they've accepted to do.
Well, that's good.
Go ahead.
You know who the contractor is?
I do not know what's the contract.
Redmond Construction Company. So, what's his name? Mark Ramsey is project manager. They're based out of Bloomington, Indiana, I guess. So, they said that once the official sale of the property does go through, that they plan 10 weeks.
And they've already got their state business or state license to build the building.
But they don't own property though. So once that happens, they've got 10 weeks. They want to have.
It's still.
Do they own it now? I mean, I heard something earlier that it was. Huh? I heard it's closed.
It's news to my father-in-law who owns real estate. He
Yeah.
said there is no date. Nothing is scheduled.
Yeah, they said today that they had tentative plans today, but nothing was official. So, and I talked to this guy this morning, and I explained to him that his transformer needs and power needs. I said, our transformers are 8 months to a year out. I said, there's nothing I can do to rush that. So he goes, well, we like to open up within 10 weeks of starting construction. I was like,
Like shot from Indiana.
yeah, I said, you're not paving in 10 weeks, homeboy. You know, like
That's that in the
you know,
yeah.
so well, tentative plan is, but that's what he said today on the phone. So, and I already told him that we're not gonna take any action on the property because they want some stuff removed until I officially know it's been closed by, the governor, so. And I already told him, the electrician, the general contractor, anyone else, if he brings the people in town, it's gonna be without this license.
So the electric company's already come in to
Yeah.
get this license. I've already got the information for them. I'll represent them, I guess, next week or in 2 weeks for that because they're not gonna be able to make it to the meeting itself, but they did explain everything that they have.
That's like Starlighter.
Can't remember the name of it right now. I got the email and stuff from them, and then I discussed with them that how many years you've been in service, that what you do, and then they brought that all on email, and so I'll bring that to the council when we do the business license. And they've already paid for that business license, right? Paula? Or is I was under the understanding that,
Probably have to share that, I thought so.
she said they paid for it already. But yeah, it's gonna be up to the council too, sorry. I think that's all I had on this one that I had wrote down. The Homeboys trailer park was already taken care of. Was there anything else that I was supposed to look up? Or any last?
Nope. That's full of swing.
You guys remember anything? Okay, I think I got everything that was asked on that now, so. Everybody good? No more? Meeting adjourned. Oh, wait, gotta show you guys this. This is what the power department replaced for the new power line coming down. This is the power line. You can tell them where it was at. I was assuming that was the power line that went over the highway.
No, it's
So-
not the highway we took down today, but that one's on top of the knob, middle of the pit.
Where the LCRs and everything, plus all that equipment up.
We don't.
That was one.
Station.
Nice.